Alright guys, well, I'm going to end this conversation to initiate the beginning of the Amateur Hour podcast number 24. Let the festivities begin.
Dicks. What's going on, everybody? My name's Eric.
My name's Alex.
Yeah, I'm Jody.
It's the Amateur Hour podcast.
Number 24.
Hell yeah.
Alright, so I know that you have a topic that you want to talk about, Eric.
Yeah, not really I mean, I guess it's a topic technically, but like, it's not like a news thing. I just wanted to talk about it. Like, I picked up, so like, Injustice 2 came out this week, and everybody's been playing that. Looks super fun. I'm gonna be getting it next week. And on the other hand, ended up grabbing another game that released this week called The Surge, which really deserves appreciation because holy shit, it's been a lot of fun. So for those who don't know, The Surge is a Dark Souls-esque RPG wherein you basically, in this one, not so much. You don't really pick a class, but you go through like an open world where you're fighting ridiculously hard enemies that drop items that you use to level up your character, as well as parts that you get from the enemies to level up your character and increase different stats and things like that. Main difference with this one, it's sci-fi themed. So instead of like a medieval setting, you basically get like an exoskeleton suit.
I was like, it looks like you get power armor and a fucking chainsaw sword.
Yeah, that's exactly what you get. And then also, the way combat works is a little different. I really like it for this. You basically, every enemy, you could target lock specific parts of his body. You can target the head, chest, arms, and legs. And even like left arm, right arm, left leg, right leg. Basically, when you see them wearing power armor, you can usually, all the armors are different enough that you can tell, like, oh, this is a new armor piece. If you want that armor piece for yourself, you fucking cut off that piece. Like, you dismember them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, like, say this dude's got a sweet chest piece. You literally cut off his torso, and you do this by building up an energy meter. And once the energy meter hits a certain threshold, you can activate a finishing move, and that'll cut off the limb. And you have a chance, if you've done enough damage to that specific part, that you can cut off that limb, and then it gives you the blueprint to craft the item.
I would say it'd be way more brutal if you just picked it up off the ground and just like,
Yeah.
good to go.
So when you want someone's torso, do you have to cut off all the limbs and leave just the torso, or is it just like if you do enough damage to it, it like basically survives the fight and then you can pick it up?
Nah, man, you gotta think of it like crawfish. You cut the head off and then suck the brains
then
out.
You suck the head.
Shit, that was the wrong head.
Anyways, yeah, so like, say I get the blueprint for an arm piece. Like, I cut off the dude's arm and he's dead. Like, they're all finishing moves. So if I cut off his arm, like, he's gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Whatever. But after you get the fucking cat's in the weirdest position.
He's so comfy. He looks cute.
Once you get the blueprint, then you go back and you basically, like, you'll fight the same enemies the same way. Like, you'll cut off the arm again. Mm-hmm. That way you build up scrap parts towards leveling up that piece and then crafting it.
So it's like you gotta collect 10 of that specific arm to get that arm.
It's usually not that hard. Like, I was fighting a guy yesterday, and, like, he had a new chest piece. I was like, cool. So I cut off his chest, and then...
That sounds so weird. I cut off his chest.
I said it so nonchalantly, like, this is something. Yeah, I cut off his chest.
Just like the front. It's like a really quick and dirty mastectomy. You're just like, shoo! You're like, I'm gonna hang his pecs on my wall.
God.
I'm gonna wear skin on my skin.
You like my face?
It's new.
It's not my face.
It's like a really weird version of Scooby-Doo. You're like, under this face I have another face.
Anyway.
But yeah, And like, okay, so I got the chess piece, and then I went back to the med bay. The med bay is basically like the equivalent of the bonfire. So I go to the med bay, then go back to the same enemy and like just cut off his body like 3 or 4 times, and I have enough parts to do it. So it's not that grindy as far as getting the items. Now, I will say, holy shit, it's hard. So the starter level, I was breezing through it. I was actually like, okay, this is, it's hard, but like compared to Dark Souls, this is nothing. Mm-hmm. You get to the second area, holy shit! If you will get wrecked if you're not careful. The enemies are in large groups in this one. They're very like some of the enemies are very, very fast. There's this guy with hulking, like they call it rhino armor, like hulking rhino armor, and then two fucking. They look like mini chainsaws, just strapped to his goddamn wrists. He's super fast, but yeah, it's a fantastic game. I was actually really surprised. It's made by the same people, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the game developer, but it's made by the same people who did Lords of the Fallen, which I hated. I hated Lords of the Fallen.
Never heard of it.
Another Dark Souls. They've been riding the Dark Souls train for a little bit. One thing that they do that's interesting is when you die, not only do they call them tech scraps in this one, do your tech scraps get left in a spot, but you also have a time limit to get back to that spot and pick it up. If you don't, like, it gives you like 2 minutes usually. Like if you don't get there in 2 minutes, it's gone.
Right. So the developer's Deck 13 and the publisher's Focus Home Interactive.
Mm-hmm.
So, are there different types of like quote unquote power armor? Like maybe a tanky one, a fast one.
Yeah. So when you start, okay, so that's one interesting thing, and it's one gripe that I have about the game. Really hooks you right at the beginning. So it starts you on a train. You're just playing this dude, and you're on a train, and the camera's like put in a spot where you see the guy's head. He's clearly sitting on the train, but the seat is blocking him. So all you see is like the top of his head, and he's looking at a video on the side of the train. When the video ends on the train, the camera turns. Your character's in a wheelchair. He's crippled. So he's going to this place to like get his mobility back and work. And then when you finally get to the facility, they give you the option to choose Lynx armor or Rhino armor. The Lynx armor is lighter weight. You can move faster. And then Rhino armor is like big hulking armor.
Yeah, like very tanky armor.
Very tanky stuff.
I got you.
So they let you choose. But I realized I did the Lynx armor. So I was like, I want to be more agile for this one. You get the Rhino armor from killing the enemies like an hour later. So it's like...
Good thing I chose the Lynx armor.
Yeah, it really doesn't like matter.
No.
It just depends on a play style, really. But I'm doing like a combination of both right now. So I use like Lynx chest piece because that's the thing that causes the most weight to add on to you. So I'll just use the Lynx chest piece, and the rest is like Rhino.
So is it straight hack and slash, or do you get like cool Gatling guns you can replace your arm with?
I haven't seen a Gatling gun yet, or like any kind of like ammo-based weaponry. I got the twin blades that I was talking about. I got that chainsaw blade. I have this huge fucking like flame-powered like power rod. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. I have a staff, which is pretty fucking dope. And then I killed my first boss from the first area. And when you kill him, he drops a huge fucking blade. Like, trying to like an equivalent to it. Like, Cloud's sword. Like that, but fatter. It's like just enormous. And it takes 5 seconds to fucking strike with it.
Wow.
But it's so strong. It's fantastic. But yeah, it's really good. And like, I haven't heard anyone really talking about it. I don't think people realized that it was coming out. And I know a lot of people are streaming it, but it's. I know Injustice kind of came out and everyone was interested in that, but it's really good. If you're interested in the Dark Souls stuff, pick that shit up.
Yeah, actually, I didn't know it was coming out, but I saw like an ad for it somewhere. It might have been on Steam or something.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw it and I was like, that looks pretty cool. And then I saw it's kind of hack and slashy, and it was like, because it's a $60 game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's full price.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't want to pay $60 for a new game.
Yeah.
Right?
Mostly because Steam has spoiled me, and also I have other games I need to beat before I buy another one.
That's fair. To be fair, like I bought the Surge and I was like, this is really good. And then I was at work the other day and I was like, let me put on an Injustice 2 stream. It just came out. It might get people to like come in and want to buy Injustice.
And it got you to want to buy
Yeah,
it.
I'm like, oh, okay, I need to get it
Backfired.
now. Yeah, and I have such a. I had to stop. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last podcast, but I had to stop getting fighting games because I'd always pick them up because they always catch my attention, and I'm always really interested in playing them. And then I burn out on them because I play them furiously for like nonstop for weeks, and then
That's what you did with For Honor, right?
yeah, like I played For Honor and then got bored of that. I feel like For Honor, there's something about For Honor though that was just lacking that made me not want to continue playing it. Because the community for Honor is dropping really quickly. I don't know if you guys saw that, but like their player base keeps dropping tremendously.
Yeah, but I think that has a lot to do with their fucking
Microtransaction
Yeah, their stupid
shit.
microtransaction thing, which.
Never pay for power.
Yeah, which I mean, that's actually a great segue into one of the topics that I wanted to talk about, which was supposedly Ubisoft is actually looking at releasing less games now and just continuing doing more microtransactions, which I think is fucking dumb. But at the same time, I can see why they want to do it because supposedly their quarterly profit earnings are record high right now. And it's because of the things like the microtransactions that they've done with For Honor and stuff.
Actually, they did it with Wildlands too.
Oh, they've been doing a lot of microtransactions?
You can,
Motherfuckers.
instead of unlocking, like going through and playing the game and unlocking weapons, you can just buy a weapon pack.
Ugh.
And they're stupid expensive.
I can about imagine.
Like a good, I say, like a weapon pack that includes a primary, a secondary, a new outfit, and maybe something else is like $15-$20.
Oh my
Holy
god!
shit,
Yeah.
that's even more than what like it was for Payday.
Like it's kind of expensive. The only way I'm really cool with microtransactions is if there's another way for me to get these like bundles. Like if there's a way to earn these points, yeah, it may take me fucking forever to get them, but if I can get these other points and use those instead of actual money, then like I'm okay with that. Because I actually did that with Wildlands. I don't think there's a way to earn them, but they use like a weird like coin system
Yeah.
where you pay them money and they give you so many points, and you use the points to buy guns. Well, when I got the season pass, I got so many points, and I used that to buy some guns. So stuff like that is not that bad, but like $20 for like
For a few weapons.
for a loadout is just like ridiculous.
No, like right. I remember whenever I played Defiance did the similar thing where you can, like, you didn't spend microtransaction money. Like the microtransactions weren't for gear. It was for a specific currency you can use to buy gear, but you can also earn an alternative currency in the game to buy the same thing. So it just took a little bit longer. And so it's like for those kind of things, I'm kind of okay, but it's also like there's almost like a weird gray line whenever it comes to doing those things on multiplayer games. Like if it's single player game, I don't give a shit what you buy.
Yeah.
But like for anything that gives you a competitive edge over me, like in an actual like multiplayer game where we're against each other, and it's literally play to win. Like you can just spend money and be better than me. Like I'm not okay with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've never. That's one big thing about like free to play games that I don't like. This is like Warframe is a good example. You can just you can wait literally 5 days for your blueprint to get crafted, or you can pay money and then have it done right then and there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like, I've never thought that was okay ever in a video game.
But
like,
let's be honest, Warframe's pretty fun.
I would say I know you and
Yeah, it
Dylan played a
is.
lot of it.
it is fun. I
It
I
sucks.
hate the waiting, so I just don't play it anymore. But
Yeah. It also sucks whenever you're like, man, that's a cool frame, or that's a cool weapon. Wait, I have to pay real money for that? Guess I'm not getting it.
Right?
I hate game companies that like. You said it was EA, right? Or not EA,
Ubisoft.
but Ubisoft. Like, I can't appreciate you as a game developer if all you like actually care about is just making money.
Yeah. Well, so to go back on the Warframe thing, I can understand it from the Warframe perspective because the game is free.
Right.
So it's like they need to make money off of the developing in some way. So like the microtransactions is a little more understandable in that kind of instance. But for Ubisoft
get
games, Like for Ubisoft games, I feel like that's not as acceptable because they're a top line AAA developer, and they are charging money for the game as well. And then you basically are, like Jody said, spending $20 to get a fucking loadout.
To clarify, I don't see anything wrong as a business practice to do what Warframe is doing because, like you said, it is free to play. I just don't like games like that where you can do that.
And see, and I agree with you on that as well. I don't personally play games like that as well.
Yeah.
Now I get that there's a huge market for those kind of things. A lot of people play Warframe, and a lot of people play those free to play games like that. I am not one of them though.
I like DC Universe.
Fucking DC Universe.
I have a character named Belly Button Vandal.
Oh my god.
He's great.
But yeah, so yeah, Ubisoft said that they're going to be basically releasing less games per year and basically just including more microtransactions.
Any idea when this is supposed to take place?
It's pretty much already taking place
because I think they're supposed to be releasing a couple of games before the end of the year.
Yeah, they're releasing I think 4 or 5 more, and then next year they're only releasing 4 total games. That's it.
That's not bad though.
But they usually release like they, even if they're not directly releasing, they are helping publish at least 8 to 10 games a year.
In all honesty, if they release less games
But
and they're
put more polish
better,
on them, yeah.
I would be 100%
Yeah.
okay with this.
Perfectly fine
but
with that.
if they're releasing the same shitty, unfinished games and charging me for extra shit, like, no, that's not gonna work.
Like they have that rumored Assassin's Creed Egypt coming out.
It's Assassin's Creed Origins is what it's
Origins, okay.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't if that game doesn't fucking rock my socks, I'm done forever with that series.
To be honest, I've already given up on the Assassin's Creed series. As much as I loved the first like 4 or 5 of them, I'm
giving it one more try just because now they had 2 years to make something good. So if it still sucks ass, like there's no point.
Yeah,
I fell off after Black Flag,
Yeah,
like
me
most
too.
people.
With Assassin's Creed, I first when I got, was it Revelations? After
Yeah.
Brotherhood?
yeah,
Yeah,
Revelations
yeah,
was
Revelations.
the
That was when
third
he's
Ezio
old.
trilogy.
Right. I noticed with that game, it was like, for me, it was really buggy, and I was just like, they rushed this. It's like, this is crap. So when Black Flag came out, I was like, I don't know if, no, 3 came out.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I want to do it, but I got it anyway, and it was pretty good, but I still like found it was kind of buggy. And Black Flag came out, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah,
So Unity came out, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna try Unity.
Unity was a
Unity.
fucking.
It was a wreck.
And see, I really enjoyed Unity because I liked that it was the first one they added co-op to, but I will admit it was buggy.
It barely worked.
Yeah.
Like
No
we
one
had so
really-
many problems with it.
Yeah. God, I really fell off after 3, honestly, because I liked the Desmond storyline that was going on, and then without spoiling anything, like the Desmond plot,
it ended.
That finished. So I was like, what's the fucking point now?
Say it ended. That's a very nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Black Flag was the last one I really enjoyed, mostly because like Edward was awesome. He was such a good
Everyone was
character.
pretty cool. I didn't like that, like, he actually wasn't an assassin. Like, he literally just
But that made it more
picked
interesting.
an assassin's, like, gear off this dead dude. It was like, oh, I'm an assassin now. It's like, that's how it works
That's the
now?
perfect pirate mentality.
But it
though.
is-
Agreed.
No, but it is a pirate mentality. It's like, look at me, I'm an assassin,
Yeah.
baby.
It really is.
But no, I think I will say the transition to Black Flag was pretty cool because they introduced Black Frag.
No, I was just saying, like, what a shitty assassin, though, right? Like, he died right at the beginning of the game.
Honestly, like, are you talking about Edward or the guy?
No, the guy he takes it from.
I was gonna say
like-
because like Edward did a pretty good job of taking that gear and totally pulling off the assassin.
Yeah, no, he did. But, like, in actuality, that actual assassin sucked ass.
Right? Getting killed by a pirate.
Yeah, come on, dude. You having an off day or what?
That'd be even shittier. Like, could you imagine he's like this assassin's just like walking along the beach and they get shot by a cannonball? Like, talk about a really shitty assassin. But I think it was really cool how they transitioned to Black Flag. But god damn it, Black Flag. Fuck. Because they introduced the whole sailing mechanic in Assassin's Creed 3, and they're like, man, everybody loves this. Let's make a game focused around this. I didn't play Black Flag myself, but it was like everybody I've ever heard talk about it unanimously said that was probably the best Assassin's Creed game out of all of them.
Like there was
pretty
just
well
something
done.
about being like, man, I need to go over here and like, because this like,
I'm gonna go on a fucking seafaring adventure.
well, like the thing was to get certain armor pieces and certain upgrades, you had to kill and skin certain animals. Those animals only spawned on certain islands. So you're like, oh, I gotta go to this island all the way across the map. All right, cool. I'm just gonna kill everything on the way there, and you just sail and like just wreck all the ships on your way
Yeah.
there, like take all their shit.
I
And then
sucked,
finally
at, I
get
sucked
there.
at naval combat.
Oh,
really
dude, I
did.
was great at it.
I sucked.
Like I wasn't very good at everything else, but like I was so confident in my abilities with the naval combat that I was like, oh, there's a boss over there. Yeah, I'm gonna go wreck his ass. Fucking pull up to him. The ship is like 20 times bigger than mine,
Oh,
and like
God.
maybe fucking 100 cannons on each side. And it's just like, whoa, shit. He turns, dead. I'm just like, well, all right. I guess I can't do that yet.
Right? Yeah, I will say, that being said about the whole Ubisoft stuff, they are on a pretty good track record because For Honor and Wildlands are two of the top grossing game releases this entire year so far.
Well, those were two like really good, maybe not original ideas, but they were really good ideas.
One was a fairly new, like totally new combat system. Like nobody had done like medieval combat like that.
Yeah.
And then Ghost Recon was, I mean, that was the first time Ghost Recon had come out in years.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but also was a complete revamp to the Ghost Recon series because
Yeah.
no Ghost Recon was like that. It was a lot more similar, if anything, to Division than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, honestly, it's like a Far Cry.
And Division
It's
had a
single
baby.
player
Yeah.
division with like co-op.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, if they continue down that path where like instead of like focusing on releasing less games, but the games are of the quality of For Honor and Wildlands, I would be okay with it too. I'm just not okay with like the whole idea of like,
Microtransactions.
yeah, like, especially like in that sense, like what you were saying, like fucking $20 for a microtransaction. That's not a microtransaction. That's a fucking game. Like remember whenever there was a huge hullabaloo for Ark releasing Scorched Earth for $20, which I granted it's in early access and that does suck, but it's like
That's DLC though.
I would say,
But it's early access DLC.
exactly. So it's like it's,
Like
Here we go again.
I bought it,
and we played the fuck out of it.
and we play the fuck out of it. But it bucks the fucking shit out of me that I paid $10 for early access DLC.
Yeah, that does
But
suck.
do you feel like it was worth $10?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also one of the things though is like if you take the price of the game Arc and then the DLC, it's less than what the full price for just the game is going to be at full release. So
True.
that's one of the reasons why I was able to justify it personally. But I do see with you. But like think about it. Like there was such a huge, like just a huge controversy around the Arc thing for releasing DLC for this. But like nobody's batting an eyelash at microtransactions being $20. But I'm about to segue this fucker again. Well, another cool thing is that Payday 2, you know how they were doing the microtransaction thing? They're shifting away from that. Remember whenever they had that
The safe thing.
no. Well, no, I'm actually going to transition a little bit away from that. You remember whenever they were doing the thing with they talked about releasing an Ethan character from H3H3? Apparently that's actually happening. That wasn't
Oh, that's great.
supposedly I don't know if this is a fucking hoax or not, but supposedly the developers of Payday 2 what they're doing is they're actually getting rid of all the paid DLC and they're transitioning it and bundling into a full version of the game where it's basically going to be an ultimate edition of the game and it gives you all the DLC and all DLC from this point on will be free. And all proceeds or all profits they make from the DLC they're selling is actually going to be donated to H3H3 to support them.
That's fucking awesome.
Because H3H3 is one of the big YouTubers that's really struggling because of the
lawsuit?
whole
Yeah.
like the lawsuit and all that. And so the developers of Payday
Lawsuit?
2 are trying to support them.
Yeah.
What lawsuit?
There was a copyright lawsuit against H3H3.
Well, it was, from what I understand, because I don't know the whole details about it, but supposedly he did a reaction video or something to another YouTuber and like made fun of the dude and used this video, and the dude got butthurt and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna sue you now."
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so now like there's a
Didn't
huge
know
thing.
that.
So basically, the developers of Payday 2 are now doing that. They're bundling everything up to where like all DLC from this point on is gonna be free, which is gonna be really cool. It just sucks for us because we own a lot of the DLC already.
No.
But any proceeds for the DLC that they sell at the moment, I believe, is going to be donated to H3H3 to help support them in this.
Like right now?
I think so. I need to do a little more research on it. And
because I'll go buy all the DLC right now.
And what's cool is that they're going to be adding both the chick and Ethan as playable characters in Payday.
That's pretty cool.
What the fuck?
That's pretty awesome.
And dude, and don't get me started on fucking Payday 2 VR.
Oh man, that's gonna be
Did you
great.
see it?
I showed it to you.
Oh yeah, you did. Fuck. I found it. What are you talking about? Fuck you, Eric.
I like scrolling on YouTube. I was like, Payday VR, what?
Dude, I sent it to Jody, and Jody's like,
Looks like I'm playing
Heavy
Payday in
breathing.
VR from now on.
like Jody moistened himself
Oh,
immediately.
But I actually want to talk about like Ubisoft's upcoming games.
Okay.
I say upcoming games. The only one I really give a shit about is
Upcoming turds, right? Am I right?
the new Far Cry is supposedly going to be a Western game.
Yeah, Far Cry 5.
Really?
That's gonna be really weird for a Far Cry game.
Dude, I think
Western?
it's going to be fucking fantastic.
But the only thing is, I think it's supposed to be releasing this year, and it's gonna have to heavily compete with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, honestly, if you release any kind of Western game when Red Dead's coming out, you're going to lose. But I think it's going to be awesome to have a new Far Cry game.
Yeah,
Not only that, but one of my recent obsessions has been fucking Westerns. So it's going to be awesome.
yeah, I guess I just never jumped on the Far Cry bandwagon. I never played any of the Far Cry games, and so I'm like, I've never really had such excitement for it.
It's Wildlands without the division aspect to it. Mm-hmm. So it's great.
I don't know. Western stuff has never appealed to me. Like,
You're missing out, dude.
have
you played Red Dead?
I played a chunk of Red Dead. I
Okay.
did give it a fair go, but I don't know, something about Western themed stuff just kind of bores me.
I will say,
like growing up, like my dad liked a lot of Westerns, and like every time he turned one on, like I did wanted to die. And I just fucking hate it. Even like
way to be melodramatic. I did want to die.
like Back to the Future. Love the first one. Second one's my favorite. Third one, it's fucking I hate it. I hate the
Damn.
third one.
Bro, Doc Brown would be so upset with you.
I didn't get over it.
You're just shitting on it. Oh, you're just shitting all over me right now, dude. Just all over
Like
me.
literally, like you
hot-
just pulled down your pants and took a hopping
dropping
turd
turds
on him.
No,
I will say the only Red Dead I ever played was Red Dead Revolver for the original Xbox.
Damn.
Yeah. I remember playing that. And it blew my mind that a lot of people didn't, like, never connected that Red Dead Redemption was a sequel to that game.
I don't think it is.
It's a spiritual sequel. It's not an actual sequel
Right.
to it. It's supposed to be it's meant to be set in the same universe,
Right.
kind of thing. But man, I loved Red Dead Revolver. I had so much fun playing it.
I played the absolute dog shit out of Red Dead Redemption.
I saw someone playing Call of Juarez. There's like
Which one?
The Call of Juarez.
Hey man, do you remember that game? You remember that game, Clive Barker's Jericho?
Anyway,
I played that game for like 5 minutes and thought it was stupid, so I returned it.
because it was stupid.
yeah.
we talked about it on the podcast. It was
Yeah.
me, him, and Josh.
I think I was there for that.
No, I don't think.
That was the same day we talked about Pokemon Chanel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He was there.
This podcast brought to you by Pokemon Chanel.
I love how, like, twice in the past 5 minutes, like, you don't know about this thing you were totally there for. Like,
Fuck you, Eric.
You don't know about this thing that I totally showed you.
Well, I'm all like blurred together. I don't remember who comes to which podcast anymore.
Sure.
Y'all are all at my house all the time.
I'm here for, like, almost every podcast.
You're here for almost every day. Get the fuck out of my house. Who are you?
God. Stupid.
Oh shit.
We didn't even do a podcast last week.
No.
We had Mother's Day, so.
Yeah, and we're not gonna be able to do another one next week.
Oh, shit.
I have to work Sunday.
That's lame-o.
Yeah, I work 5 to 12. 5 to 2.
Should
Sorry.
totally pre-record.
I mean, if we can, we will.
Anyways.
So, one of the things I'm super excited about is that the rumors that Scalebound might be back in development again.
Didn't you say Platinum Games isn't making it?
No, it's a different game developer.
Why even bother?
But if
Platinum Games, I have love-hate relationship with
Yeah.
Platinum.
what's really interesting because like Scalebound was so different than the Platinum game like I guess
Formula?
trope, yeah. Because I mean, Platinum does like the Saints Row games and stuff like that.
Platinum did Vanquish, which was fucking amazing.
They also
Did Bayonetta, which was fucking amazing. And then they hit it big with Bayonetta, and then they started getting licenses to do like popular like pop culture stuff. So they did Transformers and they did Ninja Turtles. All of them with the Bayonetta combat system, which got real old real quick.
I think they did Revengeance too.
Yeah, they did Metal Gear Rising. That's true. They sure did.
Yeah. I
Which
don't
was
know.
fucking great.
Yeah.
So basically, the moral of the story is that Platinum picked that game back up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well,
like
I'm-
it was dying. It was dead, and they resuscitated it.
Well,
And made
I'm-
it great.
I'm super interested about like the whole Scalebound thing because I don't know if they're going to continue with everything that was already made or if they're going to start from scratch. If they start from scratch, I don't know if I'm going to be into it because I really liked the direction they were that Platinum
It
was
was
taking
weird.
Scalebound.
It was very like almost looked like medieval with like modern elements. Like the dude wore headphones and shit.
But it was like also like you had like a dragon you were like soul linked to and it was multiplayer. Like, come on, dude, that'd
It
be
was-
fucking cool.
It was Devil May Cry with dragons. Because Devil May Cry is very like medieval gothic world, and you have guns and headphones.
Yeah. It was very obvious that the character design was very based off like Nero. Like, is very obvious. But that was really interesting too because they eventually announced that there was character customization. Like, you can change the actual like basically like the skill class of your character. Like, because whenever they released that multiplayer trailer for Scalebound, they had different types of dragons each person was riding, and each person was using a different type of weapon and stuff. So that kind of showed that there was like either a skill tree or like a class selection or like character customization.
Yeah.
And like I was all on board for that kind of shit.
I didn't know they had multiplayer.
They had announced it. It was I think 2 E3s after they had announced the game for the first time because they announced the game the E3 before Xbox One had released. And then 2 E3s later, I believe it was in 2015, they released a multiplayer trailer where it showed 4 different people with 4 different dragons fighting this enormous fucking crab boss. And I was like all on board for it. Holy shit. So, moral of the story is they need to continue Scalebound. But it's not Platinum Games picking it up. It was another developer. I don't remember who. And it's only a rumor. It's not even fully... Basically, the only reason it's a rumor is because Microsoft basically they had renewed the licensing and the copyrights and stuff for Scalebound. That's why the rumor had kind of like come around. Because there's no reason to renew like licensing and stuff like that for something that you don't plan on doing anything with.
Look, all I care about is the sequel to Rockstar Table Tennis, okay?
You fucking said that like 3 podcasts ago too.
I'm serious.
That was the podcast you had like a broke foot and we were talking about Bully 2.
Oh, man.
Supposedly that's coming out too.
Hey,
Yep.
you actually remembered I was there. You didn't have a podcast with yourself.
Now I remember because I kept on having to baby you and pick up your fucking ice pack off the floor.
It's true, though. It's true, though. Kept falling, whatever.
Oh shit.
Blow me, Alex.
Takes out magnifying
He'll probably
glass.
forget that he was blowing you though.
Just treat it like a crawfish, suck on the head.
Oh, man.
Is there anything else that y'all wanted to talk about? Because there's only one other thing I wanted to talk about.
That was good. Jody?
I'm good.
Last thing I'm really excited about is the fucking Witcher
Oh,
Netflix
yeah!
series.
That got announced.
Holy shit, I'm gonna poo myself.
And it's following the book series, not the games. But those two were pretty close to each other anyways.
Dude, did you read about or did you hear about the whole controversy with that bullshit that happened with the publisher of the book?
No.
So, the Witcher series has been a book for a very long
Yeah.
time. It's been out for quite a while. As a matter of fact, oh god, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I think he was Polish or maybe Danish. He was from a Scandinavian country or a European country, and he wrote these books. And the developer, CD Projekt Red, had approached him and was like, hey, we really want to do a series for it, and we want to basically purchase some rights for it. And so they were trying to do a publishing deal with him where like he was going to get a percentage, or like, okay, what percentage would you like? He was like, no, you have to purchase the full rights from me, and you have to pay me all up front right now. And so they did that. But then whenever they started doing the series and they did Witcher 2 and Witcher 3, the fucking series took off way beyond the publisher thought it was gonna. And so they started making a fuck ton of money. And then the book publisher, or the author for the book series, got super butthurt because he could have made way more money if he would have taken a publishing deal from them. And so he started slandering the fuck out of them because he was so butthurt about it.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. He was like, I made the series, and especially since
so that's like one of those weird occurrences where like people fucking hate the author, but the content was really good.
Yeah, it was super weird because like the author was just like being super dickheadish because he refused to take like a percentage right. He wanted them to purchase the full rights from him out front. And then as soon as
it started making actual money,
because basically his thought process was he didn't think that interactive media was a good storytelling device, and so he never thought it was actually going to do good.
Bro, what year is it? Like,
right?
That's like,
like it was like I didn't think a video game was going to do well, kind of thing. And ever since the Witcher series started doing really well, the books started selling really well. But it sucks for him because he doesn't own the rights of Witcher anymore. He sold them.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that was really hilarious. like dude being a complete shithead.
Like, that's gonna be the fucking worst. To be like, just being an outright fucking asshole. Just like, no, man, you're gonna give me all my money now.
Mm-hmm.
And
they paid him, and
then a couple years later, you're like, shit.
That's a
so
testament.
Much more.
That's a testament, though, to how confident CD Projekt Red was and what they were doing.
And dude, look at it. They've made like a fucking blockbuster series out of Witcher just with The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
So the dude has no rights to the book?
I don't think so anymore. I think he sold the complete rights to The Witcher series 100% to them.
Wow.
So wow.
I would say I could be wrong. Like he could still retain the publishing rights to the books that were already released under him.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I know, I don't even think he has the intellectual rights to the Witcher series at all anymore.
Damn.
So that means he can't release anything else under the Witcher name.
So that kind of sucks that, like, he didn't make any money off the games, and now his book's selling good, so he's not making money off of that either.
I don't think so. I think he might... I have to look it up, but yeah. Like, to think
just
that
funny.
He was such an arrogant asshole that he didn't think that a video game adaptation of his books would do well. And then on top of that, he was trying to go back and backpedal and say that if it wasn't for the success of his books, the Witcher series wouldn't have done well. So like he's arrogant.
I didn't even know the Witcher was a book.
Me neither.
Yeah.
And I own Witcher 2 and I put like 200 hours into Witcher 3. Like I didn't find that out until this whole debacle popped up. So it's like that just shows he was arrogant and delusional. Mm-hmm. Like what a douche.
I really do want to read the books though. Now
right?
That, I'd like to really understand all the lore and everything.
And that's kind of what it was. Is the books were really heavy on developing the lore of the series, and they really and supposedly the game series did a really good job of developing off of the lore as well.
Mm.
I really want to learn how to read.
It's okay. You're from Jennings.
I want to learn how to book.
But I'm super excited about a fucking Witcher Netflix TV series.
Who would you have as Geralt?
Oh God, man.
Number one person you
Keanu
have as
Reeves.
Geralt.
No, not
Fucking
Keanu Reeves.
Whoa.
I feel like Liam Neeson would be a good Geralt.
Liam Neeson's actually a good choice. I didn't think about that. I was looking at an article today because I knew we were going to talk about this today. I was looking at like A-list actors that you'd have to play as Geralt, and like number one was like fucking Hugh Jackman.
Mm-mm.
Hugh Jackman would be okay. I feel like
he'd be okay.
You would need somebody who's like kind of grizzled, and that's why I felt like Liam Neeson would be a good choice, just because he played in The Grey, and like that was kind of a similar, I guess, style of what like Geralt would be.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go ahead and say Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
I'm gonna vote
say
for Jesse Eisenberg.
I vote for Mark Wahlberg.
I'm gonna go Michael Cera.
Come on, Yennefer.
Scratch that. I vote for Scarlett Johansson. She would make a great Geralt.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
Scarlett Johansson would make a fucking great Ciri.
Oh, yeah.
Either
No,
Ciri or fucking Yennefer.
Fucking, for Ciri, the chick who plays, Daenerys.
Oh, Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
I don't know her name either.
I never watched Game of Thrones,
She
so I don't
would
know.
be amazing.
She does favor Ciri though. Like I would see that. Oh man, who would make a good Yennefer?
The chick from God, I don't remember her name.
Jody's like, I don't know what's going on right now. Jody, you would love Witcher 3 because there's a lot of sex.
You haven't played Witcher 3 yet. Dude, what are you doing?
He hasn't beaten Metal Gear 5 yet.
Yeah. I gotta beat Phantom Pain before I
How
can
close
do
are you to finishing Phantom
Like the
Pain?
last mission.
I'm very close.
Fucking complete already.
At this rate, Jody's never gonna play the game ever again because he just won't go and beat it.
Why? Is there a reason?
No, just like last time I played it, it was like extremely difficult, and I was just like, you know what? I need to
Why
fucking
Jody
walk away.
doesn't like a challenge.
Well, no, like it was impossible.
Really?
Like I don't know what the fuck happened, but I even wore the chicken hat and everything, and I just kept getting fucking one shot by like.
Who's your companion?
Well, for the mission, it has to be quiet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was just this part where like there was tanks, and the tanks were like one-shotting me, and not even like, oh, I got hit by a fucking tank round and I'm dead, because yeah, that makes sense. It was like, oh, the tank round hit the building behind me and I'm dead. So like, yeah, I don't even want to talk about it now.
I'm over it. Can we talk about the fucking? I think it's a hand attachment for that game called the Hand of Jahidi or whatever.
Oh,
You like
yeah.
grab enemies towards you, like they teleport you to the hand or whatever.
Yeah,
That
it's-
and the fucking rocket launcher arm is the best.
The Hand of Jehudi is actually from Zone of the Enders.
Oh,
It's another
okay.
Kojima game.
Of course.
But you can fucking, there's an upgrade for your mech where you fucking grab people and you can like hold them and throw them, and it's crazy.
That's awesome.
Zone of the Enders is awesome. You should try
Have
it.
you played Metal Gear?
No.
Phantom Pain?
No, I haven't played any of the Metal Gear games.
I started with 5. But I've talked about this, but
Yeah.
I've started with none of them. Not because, and to be honest, it's not because I don't want to play them. It's just like I feel like I'm just like way too far gone to be able to like
no, you're not.
appreciate it.
Dude, I played Metal Gear 1 2 years ago. This is never too late. Unless you're like a graphics whore.
I always tell them that we should do a Let's Play series of Alex playing Metal Gear Solid,
Of the whole playing
through the whole
series.
game.
Dude,
Or
we,
through the whole series.
we would have to do it as a streaming series because like doing it as a Let's Play series, like it would take us a year to release all those episodes.
You'd be on Metal
Exactly.
Gear Solid 4, and 3 parts would be for one cutscene. Like,
I would just cut all the cutscenes out.
Yeah.
So that means we'd only be like 20 minutes of gameplay.
God. Yeah,
I heard it's a beautiful movie.
It is.
I think that covers everything, though, huh?
Yeah, I had 5 points I wanted to touch on, and we hit on all 5 of them.
Touched all them points.
It's true.
Don't touch my points.
Okay.
You can touch my points.
No. Only Jody's points. But yeah, that's all I have today. That concludes this Amateur Hour podcast number 24.
Yes. I'm so glad your mom bought you that.
Right? Shout out to Belinda Daigle for buying this for me.
Oh, boy. Well, yeah, guys, thanks for watching. My name's Eric.
My name's Alex. Oh. That wasn't even a word. You're not even speaking anymore. You're like, nom, nom. And we'll catch you next time. Woo! Bye.